Now, if you're joining us after watching the most recent episode of Weekly Weird News, you'll know that Portland is currently engaged in a very special kind of protest involving inflatable creatures of all sorts. And those protests continue to grow and spread across the nation where these ICE activities are taking place. Now, in that video, we briefly mentioned another tactic that the people of Portland were using in the fight against federal agents and the potential deployment of National Guard troops. And it actually took place on Sunday, so I guess we should probably update everyone on the emergency naked bike ride protest, which a few local outlets basically described as the cherry on top of a week filled with ridiculous protests meant to make the Trump administration look stupid and silly.
Just extra.
Yeah.
So extra. Protesters rallying against the Trump administration in Portland put the city's quirky and irreverent reputation on display Sunday by pedaling through the streets wearing absolutely nothing, or close to it, in an emergency edition of the annual World Naked Bike Ride. The bike ride is an annual tradition that usually happens in the summer, but organizers of this weekend's hastily called event said another nude ride was necessary to speak out against President Donald Trump's attempt to mobilize the National Guard to quell protests. Rider Janine King called the nude ride a quintessentially Portland way to protest. The 51-year-old was naked except for wool socks, a wig, and a hat. She sipped hot tea and said she was unbothered by the steady rain and temperatures in the mid-50s.
Oh, no.
We definitely do not want troops coming into our city, King said. The city is awaiting the ruling of an appeals court panel on whether Trump can send out the federalized troops after a federal judge on October 5th ordered a temporary hold on deployment. Fewer people were fully naked than usual, likely because of the cool, wet weather. But some still bared it all and rode, wearing only bike helmets. You gotta have a good seat.
Well, that and just like, if you're a dude, there's going to be some shrinkage. Like, you didn't just get out of a pool, but you are in cold, wet weather.
I don't think anyone participating in these naturist activities gives a flying fuck about
True.
like, any of that shit.
True.
Like, it just comes with the territory.
Exactly. But, you might have had a bigger turnout if other things were at a normal size and not shrunken by the cold weather.
I mean, I think it just demonstrates their dedication to the cause.
That's right.
That they were willing to
sacrifice it all.
Sacrifice their dignity, their comfort, and their penis being a normal size.
Yeah.
To go out there and show the federal government that Portland's keeping it weird, whether you like it or not.
And it's working, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not sure if this will catch on the way the inflatable costumes have, but over in Chicago, there is no need for inflatable fictional characters getting brutalized by federal agents because they have actual real-life characters like church pastors who have already been on the receiving end of ICE agents for trying to present a faith-based argument against their actions. Last week, Reverend David Black was shot in the head with a pepper ball during a protest outside of an ICE facility outside of Chicago. The footage is already locked down on copyright, so we'll read the description from local outlet Fox 32, but there's always links to everything in the description below. The footage shows protesters standing outside the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility, shouting towards 3 agents stationed on the roof. One of the agents begins firing pepper balls, and one of them hits Pastor David Black of the First Presbyterian Church in the Woodland neighborhood. Black then falls to the ground as others come to his aid.
In the days that followed, the clip and initial story went viral, resulting in a statement from the Department of Homeland Security where they defended those ICE agents.
Sure.
What this clipped video doesn't show is that these agitators were blocking an ICE vehicle from leaving the federal facility, impeding operations. McLaughlin wrote in a lengthy statement on social platform X. McLaughlin accused demonstrators of throwing rocks, bottles, and launching fireworks at the law enforcement agents on the roof. However, in the recorded clip, Black could be seen gazing at officers with open hands prior to being shot by a pepper ball. I invited them to repentance, Black told Religion News Service in an interview. I basically offered an altar call. I invited them to come and receive that salvation and be part of the kingdom that is coming. I love this. Again, they're taking Israel was a test case, and they're like, they were definitely throwing rocks and bottles and fireworks.
Oh, sure.
Source, trust me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was filming, but the footage must have gotten lost. But we simply had to shoot that priest in the fucking head.
Yeah. And look, I'd be annoyed by the priest trying to offer me salvation and everything on the street.
Yeah, he's reminding me that what I'm doing is highly immoral.
Well, even down at the Comic-Con when they have the guys on the street talking about stuff, I am annoyed, but I wouldn't shoot them in the head with a pepper ball.
Those guys are like telling me that like being gay is sinful or whatever.
This guy's just using his position as a man of the cloth.
Or actually, the Comic-Con ones, it's interesting. They're specifically talking about like false idols.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think they kind of got a point. They're just being annoying about it.
Yeah.
These a lot of these people have replaced the role of religion in their lives with fucking X-Men and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, really no justification that I can see whatsoever for pepperballing that man in the fucking head. He was praying to them, and they just ended up shooting him. It was like casual to them, bystander Amanda Tovar told CNN. They, the demonstrators, weren't scaling a fence. They weren't throwing any items. They weren't even saying anything in the least that would be threatening. And that's when they, the ICE officers, just started opening fire at them, she added. Later in the evening, Black was again shoved and sprayed with pepper spray outside the ICE facility in Broadview, a village outside Chicago.
Anyways, that pastor is now suing the Trump administration for violating his First Amendment rights, which should be an open and shut case. They should settle. They should clear everything up because the Trump administration, one thing that they love more than anything else is the Constitution and the First Amendment.
Yeah, and we talked about this last week, but the case is on religious grounds too, which should be very interesting.
Here's Baptist News Global, which, since this seems to be a pretty large story for the religious community, you'd hope that one positive outcome of a story like this would be a wake-up call to other Christians about what's going on in their country. But, I guess that's a lot to ask. So the lawsuit will have to do. Here's that Christian news outlet. A Presbyterian minister attacked by ICE agents during the peaceful protest of a Chicago area migrant processing center has joined a lawsuit to stop the Trump administration's violence against demonstrators and media. David Black, senior pastor of First Presbyterian Church in Chicago and Woodland, Illinois, is one of numerous plaintiffs in a federal complaint filed October 6th against President Donald Trump and other U.S. officials for authorizing arbitrary and unlawful force and detentions during constitutionally protected rallies against federal immigration facilities. The lawsuit, filed in the U.S. District for the Northern District of Illinois, cited the deployment of National Guard soldiers to Chicago and to the Broadview ICE Center to intimidate protesters and reporters and to stifle their free speech rights. Sounds like he's got a case. And look, that's the thing, the same issue with ICE attacking, if they were to do so in a violent way, the people in the inflatable costumes in Portland. That would look really bad. And you know what looks really bad? Are the photos of this fucking pastor at the ICE facility getting strong-armed and shot in the head with a pepper ball.
Yeah, no, it's indefensible.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I mean, we covered this last week. Like, I looked at the comments section of a specifically religious, like, news outlet, and it was overwhelmingly people who I assume wouldn't be there unless they considered themselves religious, calling him like a fake and not a real priest and an agitator and paid by Soros and all this other shit.
Yeah.
So they don't fucking care.
Exactly.
Anyway, while we're on the topic of ICE, the typically very outspoken border czar, Tom Homan, has been mysteriously quiet ever since his alleged bribery scandal came to light a few weeks ago. In case you missed that one, Tom Homan accepted a $50,000 bribe from undercover FBI agents in exchange for lucrative government contracts. Pretty much open and shut. They left the cash in a to-go bag from the food chain Kava. They got the Trump administration's border czar on tape accepting the bribe. They got him, but the Justice Department investigation has since been shelved by Trump's former personal lawyer, current acting deputy attorney general, an absolute ghoul, Emil Bove, who I believe is like 42 or something. And
he's another one that looks like
got the Stephen
20
Miller
years
face.
older than he is.
Yeah. So what a corrupt mess. Basically, the party line is that this is all fine because Tillman wasn't a public official when he accepted the bribe.
Yeah, so that makes it totally cool, yeah.
Okay, no further questions. You're free to go.
Are you sure there wasn't a detrimental election happening weeks after that bribe was accepted where one of the candidates winning would assure the person that was giving the bribe would have those government contracts at the border? I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Except, there were a few further questions about Tom Homan and this bribe, and those questions really seemed to trip up Vice President J.D. Vance during an interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos.
Again, ABC is weird with copyright, and sometimes they do issue strikes, and we can't risk it right now, so we'll have to read the quotes to you. Apologies from our legal department, which is also just both of us.
Your Honor.
Here you go. Elliot will be an increasingly agitated George Stephanopoulos, and I'll be our young, virile, smart, and sexy president, James Dean Vance.
You little Freudian slip there. He's for now just our vice president.
Oh, yeah, just the vice president. Yes, sure. For now, vice president. Wink, wink, James Dean Vance.
I hope you didn't just will something into existence.
Trump is over in Egypt right now.
All right, here you go. The White House border czar Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in September 2024 accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money or give it back?
George, you've covered the story ad nauseum. Tom Homan did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear. And the reason you guys are going after Tom Homan so aggressively is because he's doing the job of enforcing the law. I think it's really preposterous. I know Tom. I think that he's a good man. He gets death threats. He gets attacked. He gets constantly threatened by people because he has the audacity to want to enforce this country's immigration law.
The bribes, JD, the bribes.
I think that it would be a much more interesting story about why is it that Tom Homan, who is simply enforcing America's immigration laws, is getting constantly harassed and threatened to the point of death threats.
He did a bribe.
That's a much more interesting question that I think journalists should focus on.
Oh, okay.
We can agree to disagree on that question.
Well, wait, you said he didn't take a bribe, but I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
George, this story has been covered ad nauseum.
You just said that.
He did not take a bribe. Did he accept $50,000? I'm sure that in the course of Tom Homan's life, he's been paid more than $50,000 for services. The question is, did he do something illegal? And there's absolutely no evidence that Tom Homan has ever taken a bribe.
No, I'm asking a different question. I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000 that was caught on the surveillance tape? Did he accept that $50,000 or not?
I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility and then yada, yada, yada.
This is an interesting, one of the interesting new aspects of politics in the last couple of years, aside from no one remembering who was president in 2020 and the first month of 2021, is politicians, mostly Republicans, but you see this with guys like Hakeem Jeffries in the Democratic Party, just being oblivious of anything that has ever happened.
Yeah.
You see this with Mike Johnson all the fucking time. They ask him about the biggest news of the day. And
Well,
he's
I
like,
haven't seen it. So
I haven't heard about it. This is the first I'm hearing about that, actually, so I'll have to get back to you. And it's like, there's no fucking way that's true.
Yeah, 'cause
There's absolutely no way you haven't heard about this, haven't been briefed on it.
Well, it's a very convenient excuse because it removes any legal liability because you have no idea.
Yeah.
You can't say anything wrong because you are uninformed. Yet,
But JD Vance is talking so confidently about this, and he's like, I know all the facts of this case, and it checks out perfectly. Also, what are you talking about?
never even seen
a
it.
tape? This is the first I'm hearing about a tape. I don't think so. That doesn't sound like Tom.
I'm sure one of our nation's top lawyers, Emil Bove, will be all over this and bring everyone who is guilty to justice. So yeah, he goes on and on about ABC losing credibility, still not answering the question, and then says, let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts...
It's the FBI!
where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
Literally the FBI a year ago. Those leftists down at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Fuck you. And then Stephanopoulos comes back with, it's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024. And you did not answer that question. Thank you for your time this morning.
You are free to go, I
Okay.
guess. The Vice President of the United States, ladies and gentlemen.
Vance also accused ABC News of using this issue as a distraction from the government shutdown, which, again, whose fault is that? Those nasty Democrats.
That's right.
And their sinister desire to keep your healthcare premiums from going up even further. Those bastards. Those devilish dogs. Now, the government is, as of when we film this, still shut down, with no sign of progress on the horizon. And here's some updates on how all that's going.
As I take a step aside here, there is quite a bit of military members and their families in line because of this government shutdown. We're in day 9 of it, and they're here for a food pantry. There's all sorts of food that is available.
We were here last week, and we were in line for like 2 hours.
In a normal week, we usually run out of food about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Last week, we ran out of food about 10:30.
Folks, morale has never been higher.
It is an outrageous video, and a few people pointed out that in The Art of War, one of their main things is, hey, make sure to keep your troops fed.
Yeah, and this is, if you read about just like any military operation throughout the entire history of humankind, this is one of the most common factors in everything going completely to shit.
Yeah, if you're not taking care of the troops, you're clearly not taking care of fucking anyone. And now American troops, when they're not, of course, patrolling our own city streets, are hitting the local food pantry so they can feed themselves and their families. Great empire.
Well, they'll be less fat.
That's true.
One thing we want.
Yeah, even Hegseth was like, you know what? That picture does make us look bad. Bring those guys back to Texas.
Hey, when you're down at the food bank, make sure more protein, less carbs, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, we're trying to slim out.
Yeah, less
Ridiculous.
barbecue on the weekends, boys. Making us look bad in Illinois. Anyways, last week we spoke about the Department of Education sending out automatic reply emails from staff that blamed the shutdown on Democrats. Those employees tried, in some cases, to change back to the standard, politically neutral out-of-office response, only to find that the department would revert back to the one blaming Democrats. Now, taking things a step further, the Department of Homeland Security and Kristi Noem have recorded brand new videos for use at our nation's airports that blame any and all delays, travel frustrations, potential dismemberments or deaths on those damn, dirty Democrats. Hey, I know you just got to the airport, but it'd be a real shame if anything happened to your plane while the government was shut down because of those devilish Democrats.
I don't feel like this is going to work the way they want it to. I feel like your average fence sitter is not going to respond well to this kind of shit.
Well,
but I don't know. Who knows?
Some airports have refused to play the videos, which will probably spur a response from DHS. But here, check out some of the video for yourself. This is what is apparently playing at TSA checkpoints around the country.
It is TSA's top priority to make sure that you have the most pleasant and efficient airport experience as possible while we keep you safe. However, Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted, and most of our TSA employees are working without pay. We will continue to do all that we can to avoid delays that will impact your travel. And our hope is that Democrats will soon recognize the importance of opening the government.
Cool. Be a real shame if maybe you and your family were to perish in a completely avoidable airplane crash because Chuck Schumer wants transgender for everyone. That's a hell of a message to play in one of our nation's many airports.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm flying in a couple weeks, so I'm excited.
I hope quote unquote transgender for everybody was worth it, Elliot.
I'm flying Trans World Airlines. They're bringing it back.
They're
They're bringing it back. TWA, baby. But like we said, some have chosen not to play the videos. Here's the Washington Post with more on that. Airports in more than a half dozen U.S. markets have declined to display a video in which Homeland Security Secretary Kristi L. Noem blames congressional Democrats for the government shutdown and any related travel delays, citing the political nature of its content, according to local authorities. Officials that oversee airports serving Buffalo, Charlotte, Cleveland, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Seattle, and Portland, Oregon, said the video could violate internal policies that bar political messaging or contravene state or federal laws that prohibit the use of public resources for political activity. Yeah, that's literally what they're asking them to do.
Mm-hmm.
We believe the Hatch Act clearly prohibits the use of public assets for political purposes and messaging, said Molly Prescott, a spokesperson for the Port of Portland, which operates Portland International Airport. Which is correct. She's right.
Yeah.
Westchester County, a community just north of New York City, also declined to show the video. County Executive Ken Jenkins called it inconsistent with the values we expect from our nation's top public officials and unnecessarily alarmist in a statement on Friday.
Woo! Yeah.
So stupid. Like, this is their kind of Achilles heel, their fatal flaw is, and we've seen this for years now, is they're not satisfied with being in control of everything.
No.
And getting their way.
They have to be fucking miserable.
They have to be, everyone has to know about it. Everyone has to be happy about it.
And everyone has to blame their enemies.
Yeah, which is, I'm sorry, it's just, it's too much to ask.
In reality, it's literally the meme of the guy riding the bike and putting the stick in his own front tire.
Well, yeah.
Why has this happened to me?
Yeah, but the people down at TSA, they don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. Play the video.
They're already...
And by the way, make sure the audio's on and that everyone in TSA, always a quiet place, is able to hear these videos that are blaring over the...
Yeah.
I remember I traveled earlier this year and she was on every TV because of the Real ID thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this could go either way because when people go through TSA, they're obviously in like a terrible mood. So either they direct their anger towards the Democrats, or they get mad at this bitch, Kristi Noem.
I feel like whatever their pre-existing beliefs are going to be satisfied.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was the Democrats. Even when it was the Republicans, I knew it was the Democrats. So, now I'm very upset, and my whole family is very agitated by the delays.
I'm pissed. I'm royally pissed.
It's literally the worst day ever.
Anyway, we got more news to get to, including Trump's new quest after losing the Nobel Peace Prize, which seems to be simply get to heaven. He wants to get into heaven.
Really badly.
It's all he wants. The Nobel Peace Prize was part of that, and now he's time is running out, guys.
That's right.
I need the golden ticket. But first, we have to indulge in a little slice of heaven of our own with today's sponsors, starting with Tushy.
Hey.
That's right, folks. Clean that ass. It's been a while, but we finally locked down a bidet sponsorship, so you know we're not lying when we say this is one of the best investments you can make for your quality of life.
Your window on this planet is so small in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Why not have a clean ass?
Life is too short to walk around with a swamp ass.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Tushy. A-hole, balloon knot, fart box, stink wrinkle, leather Cheerio, cornhole, mud button. They're only dirty words if you wipe. So don't spend all day and all that paper just to get it done half-assed. Switch to Tushy. It's easy to install, easy to use, and very, very easy to know if you've got it working correctly. You'll feel it.
That's right.
It may take some getting adjusted to, but you eventually
you'll find that you can take a lot more pressure than you're used to.
You very quickly will realize that anytime you're away from home, something is missing.
I gotta get back to my bathroom. You want to use mine? No.
No, I'm sorry. The best part, aside from having the cleanest butthole in town, is that Tushy looks like it's supposed to be a part of your toilet already. So it won't weird out the in-laws, unless maybe they take it for a spin, and then their lives will be changed forever, and they will thank you, and they'll owe you one forever.
Yep. Tushy is the everyday luxury bidet that instantly transforms your bathroom habits and bottom health for life. Every Tushy bidet easily attaches to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing. Instead of wiping endlessly with toilet paper, Tushy pristinely removes 99% of bacteria while protecting your natural skin barrier thanks to one natural ingredient. What can it be? Fresh water! Installation is simple and takes about 10 minutes to complete. Literally anyone can do it. Tushy Bidet gives you 2-in-1 benefits, reducing irritation and preventing micro tears with soothing water instead of scratchy toilet paper or damaging wet wipes.
Micro tears,
You don't want those. That. No, sir. People who have made the switch to Tushy use up to 80% less TP. Don't be like those idiots down at the big box stores stocking up and stealing it from everybody else.
I buy toilet paper like once a year.
Truly. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with, of course, a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. But remember, a butthole is only a dirty word if you wipe that thing instead of spraying it clean with a bidet. Now, for a limited time, our viewers get 10% off their first bidet order when you use our code ITDaily at checkout. That is 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code ITDaily.
Once you've got a clean butt, you're going to need somewhere to put that butt.
Yep.
Why not put it in a luxury piece of furniture that you got for a steal because you used our next sponsor, dupe.com. Have you ever fallen in love with a couch? JD.
Getting back to our earlier topic. I don't know. She's a little expensive.
Have you ever platonically fallen in love with a couch, lamp, or rug online, and then your soul leaves your body when you see the price tag? Well, I'm going to let you in on a secret called dupe.com. It's ridiculously easy to use. All you have to do is type dupe.com / before any product URL, and it instantly shows you similar and more affordable alternatives. These aren't sketchy knockoffs either. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Most furniture sold online is mass-produced in the exact same factories. Those factories then sell to brands under different names, who then list them for different prices.
Wow.
Dupe.com automatically lists these less expensive alternatives for you, so you're not overpaying just for some brand name on the same damn piece of furniture.
This is a service that I used before they even sponsored the show because I had to get some new furniture like 6 months ago. And it was great because I would go on other apps that I'm not allowed to name and find something I really liked and then just cross-reference it at the very least with this and get, in some cases, some pretty good deals on it. So Dupe is, of course, one of the most viral shopping hacks on TikTok. Millions of people have already used Dupe to save money, and it is 100% free to use. That $5,000 cloud sofa you don't think you can justify, the beautiful mid-century dresser you had bookmarked forever, Dupe will find a similar item, even sometimes the same item, for 60, 70, even 80% off. With Dupe.com, you can finally decorate the house of your dreams without going broke. Dupe.com isn't just about furniture either. Dupe works for fashion, shoes, jewelry, and more. Dupe.com really is very easy to use. Just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser, and boom, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension that you can download. No account required, no sign-up required. It is completely free to use. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with Dupe.com today.
Dupe, dupe-a-doop.
Dupe, oop, dupe, oop, oop, oop.
All right.
Yeah.
Back to the news now, and the cognitive decline of the current sitting U.S. president has been on full display lately, but he posted an all-timer this weekend regarding the January 6th insurrection on the Capitol. Seemingly out of nowhere, the president posted, "The Biden FBI placed 274 agents into the crowd on January 6th. If this is so, which it is, a lot of very good people will be owed big apologies. What a scam. Do something. President DJT." Now, okay. What the president and much of America fails to remember is that Donald Trump was president on January 6, 2021, when the insurrection on the U.S. Capitol took place.
That's correct.
Joe Biden was not yet president, had never been president up until this point. Trump was there because he was the one who instigated it, because he desperately wanted to hold on to power.
Yeah.
The Independent adds, obviously the Biden FBI did not exist on January 6th, nor did it exist in any of the weeks or months leading up to the attack on the Capitol, when dozens of police officers were injured responding to a violent mob numbering in the thousands as rioters stormed barricades, shattered windows, defaced the hallways of the Capitol complex, and battled with law enforcement around the grounds, also pooping everywhere.
Pooping and peeing. FBI officials and investigators with the bipartisan congressional January 6th investigation said there was no truth to those accusations. And Trump's own current FBI director, Kash Patel, has also refused to back up that conspiratorial claim.
It's not even a conspiratorial claim. It's just stupid and wrong.
Yeah. Patel, though, was forced to clarify the agency's position on its deployment of agents on January 6th in late September. The first time Trump used his Truth Social platform to amplify the conspiracy by writing that FBI agents were probably acting as agitators and insurrectionists in the crowd. The FBI director responded in an interview saying that the deployment occurred after the riot began. But this is, of course, just more of Trump trying desperately to clean up his filthy, disgusting past so that he can walk through those pearly gates and into the kingdom of heaven, where he assumes he will be greeted with loving arms by everyone who said, "Great job, great job." Getting into heaven is something that Trump has been very oddly obsessed with lately. But actually, there's nothing odd about it. He is almost 80. He's overweight. He has an unhealthy diet. He realizes that no one is immortal. And for some reason, he seems to really believe in the idea of heaven, and that heaven might be a place where he could work out a deal to get access.
Yeah.
The ultimate deal maker.
That's the funniest part, because, like, he is not a religious person at all, but he's become obsessed with the idea of heaven for the first time ever at the age of 79, and his version of it does not conform to really any religious version of the afterlife.
In his version of heaven, he gets to just remain in power here on Earth.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of It's the Mormon, or not. There's some Mormon elements to this, but it's the eye of the needle, but like in reverse.
Yeah.
Like actually, the more gold you bring through the eye of the needle, the more you get to bring through the eye of the needle. I don't even know why we're telling you this.
There's definitely a Mar-a-Lago in heaven.
Yeah.
Yes.
As if you listen. All the gold you can squeeze through the eye, you can keep it all.
That's, we all laughed at NFTs, but actually this is all one big simulation, and everything that you get while you're on Earth is coded with an NFT, and when you show up in heaven, it's also there because the servers transfer like that.
Yeah.
It all works seamlessly.
Anyway, here's the president talking some bullshit.
Yeah, he might think that he can do a deal to get in, or maybe not, because during his overseas trip this week, he indicated maybe he won't be getting into heaven. Maybe he won't be. Here you go.
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven.
Well, at least he's being realistic about it.
I don't know. I not without the Nobel Peace Prize. Who knows?
I mean, if he's talking about this to the press, he's got to be talking about it to like the people.
He's probably obsessed with it. Yeah.
Steven, do you think I'm getting into heaven?
Yeah, he probably consults with like religious experts all the time, who basically are there to guide him into more Project 2025 stuff through his quest to get into heaven. Well, Donald, you know what God would really love?
Lower taxes.
Come right this way. Wow.
One of the biggest villains of the Bible are the tax collectors.
That's right. Everybody knows that.
But you know who else ain't getting into heaven? A man who pissed all over St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. And oddly enough, this is the second Christian news source that we will have referenced on the show today.
Yeah.
It's a Christian news show, guys.
Welcome to the new Christian broadcast.
Your favorite faith-based YouTube news commentary show.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to church. Just watch our show.
Exactly.
And that counts.
And hit the
and
thank button.
When you get to heaven, God's going to be like, you never went to church. And be like, I watched internet today.
I was a $5 a month member, actually.
And God's going to be like, the loophole, you got it. You figured out the loophole.
Bring that sword you bought.
Tricked again. I'm always getting tricked.
Yeah.
The Mormons with their soaking, they got one past me with that one.
Here, make your way into heaven. As you'll see in the foyer, we have Beeple's fucking $60 million NFT on display.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Please stop and eat at in the food hall. You'll see the Bored Ape burger stand.
Anyway, here's Catholic news outlet EWTN Vatican, because they refer to the act as a desecration.
That's
the
right.
pissing on the Vatican.
Yeah.
Which, it's a really nice building.
It is.
Like, this is fucked up.
I went to what's the room with the painting on the ceiling?
That's the
St. Paul's Cathedral? Is that what it is?
The Sistine Chapel.
Sistine Chapel, sorry. Anyways, I went into that room, and they really do shuffle you through it really quick, and you can't take pictures.
Yeah, and it's kind of awkward.
All
You have to
right,
look straight up.
But then, and I thought it was over because you do like the whole museum tour and then you get out to St. Peter's Basilica.
The actual church.
And
like
you go
crazy.
in, you're like, and there's nobody like waiting to get in line for it. You go in and you're like, this is the most incredible building I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, it better be. They stole all the materials from the Colosseum and other ancient Roman buildings that are now like ruins that look like shit. It's because they took all the marble and like gold and shit off of that to build their church. So it better look nice.
Well,
anyways. Here's the news. A man urinated on the altar of confession of St. Peter's Basilica on Friday before being taken away by security officers in the famous basilica, according to news reports. The man climbed the altar and urinated under the stunned gaze of hundreds of tourists, according to the newspaper Corriere della Sera's Rome edition. Video of the desecration was widely shared on social media. Il Tempo reported that the man was promptly reached by plainclothes police officers present in the basilica and was escorted out of the church. The latter newspaper claimed Pope Leo XIV was shocked to learn of the news, though the Holy See press office had not released a statement about the incident as of October 11th. What are these Swiss guards even fucking good for? You let this guy through?
Yeah. Seeing that full bladder walk in. Knowing he was going to
those Swiss guards, they got they got automatic rifles
Yeah.
stuffed in their stuff in their big fluffy pants. Their ridiculous outfits are just a sort of way of throwing you off, thinking like, man, these guys ain't gonna do shit. No, they're trained to kill.
Yeah. Pope Leo, like someone pissed in the church. That's crazy. Go Bears. And then he dives through a table.
Did you see someone visited the Vatican and got an audience with the Pope, which is like you kind of struck the lottery with that, and used his like one moment with the Pope of the Universal Church to be like, oh, you probably have had more hot dogs than any other Pope before. And Pope Leo's like, but then he's like, yeah, but not with ketchup, only mustard. I'm like, great. He did not seem all that amused. He's like, really? This is what? God damn it. Can we not let any Americans into when I do my audiences with the Catholics?
Are you really the head of the Quickie Mart? Yes. Really? But let's switch from the Catholic Church to the royal family. Oh, what could this topic be about? Yep, there have been some new developments in the Jeffrey Epstein case, and the latest is related to Prince Andrew, the disgraced royal who was photographed with Ghislaine Maxwell and Virginia Giuffre, and who settled with Virginia Giuffre for definitely doing that shit.
It's not just photos. It goes.
Yes.
He was a frequent visitor to the St. James.
This one is pretty much on the level of creepiness of Trump's wonderful little secrets comments. So just brace yourself for that. But here's The Guardian. Prince Andrew told Jeffrey Epstein in an email, "We're in this together," after a picture of the British royal with his arm around a teenage Virginia Giuffre was first published in 2011.
Yeah, that's definitely something you write when
you are innocent.
When there's nothing untoward going on.
The email will pile further pressure on the Duke of York and the royal family because he previously told the BBC he had ceased contact with the convicted child sex offender by that point.
Don't.
What are you calling him, a liar? Correspondence between the king's younger brother and Epstein, published in the Mail on Sunday and the Sun on Sunday, appears to show that was not the case. Andrew emailed Epstein on 28th February 2011, the day after the well-known photograph of the Duke, Giuffre, and Ghislaine Maxwell was made public. He told Epstein to keep in close touch and expressed a wish to play some more soon.
Oh my God.
In 2019, Andrew told the BBC's Newsnight program that he broke off his friendship with Epstein in December 2010 after the two men were photographed together strolling in New York. And that photograph was absolutely the last possible time. The evidence you have there, that was it.
Play again soon. I mean, there's got to be a better word, but I just hate the way like sex people use the word play. It grosses me out.
Yeah, there is a lot of like
swingers
infantilizing.
And stuff. They're like, oh, we go down to the swingers
Well, in
club
this case, it really does mean
play.
It is being childish for a disgusting reason in this scenario.
Because it's actual fucking children.
Yeah.
Anyway, if only the photo emerged a few years later, the prince could have just said someone used AI to create it instead of telling people it couldn't have been him because he doesn't sweat.
That's right.
I lost the ability to sweat when I was fighting the Falklands War.
That was his literal excuse. Yeah.
Yeah, Virginia Giuffre, she claimed I was sweaty.
Couldn't be true.
When I was raping her. But couldn't have been true because lost my ability to sweat.
Yeah.
So now AI is being used to fake all sorts of stuff, even situations that might result in kids accidentally swatting themselves as the unintended side effect of a pretty mean-spirited prank using AI. They've created videos that appear to show homeless people in their homes while the parents are at work. The parents, understandably concerned about their children being home alone with a stranger, contact the police, who show up to find out that it was just a prank, bro, and the homeless person wasn't real. So I guess there's no one for the cop to shoot. Maybe there's a dog that I could shoot? No? Damn. The cop really wanted to shoot something.
And now you've ruined his day. And that's the real downfall of this
built
prank.
up all this energy, all this violent energy, and now he's got to take that home to his wife and kids.
There was a 2-minute montage of him cocking random guns and loading them. And then he gets to his house and no homeless guy?
The only version of this prank that I've seen was it was actually pretty funny. Even though it was AI, I'll let it slide because it was clever. There was a woman texting her boyfriend pictures of like the plumber showing up, and he's just like total fucking hunk and like gradually just like taking his shirt off and like working under the sink, and it's like he needed to go use the upstairs bathroom, and he's like in the bedroom. The boyfriend's just like, what the no.
Get some friends and go film it for real.
Yeah.
It's called a sketch.
Yeah. Anyway, here's The Verge with more on this latest AI prank.
The premise is simple enough. Kids use Snapchat's AI tools to create images of a grimy man in their home and tell their parents they let them in to use the bathroom, take a nap, or just get a drink of water. Often they say the person claims to know the parents from work or college. And then, predictably, the parents lose their cool and demand they kick the man out. The kids, of course, record the whole thing and post their parents' reactions to TikTok, where some of the clips have millions of views. Where things go from problematic to potentially dangerous is when the prank carries on for too long and parents call the authorities. Calls of a home invasion, especially involving children, are treated as high priority by police. So pranks like this tie up valuable resources and could actually put the pranksters in danger. Round Rock Police Patrol Division Commander Andy McKinney told NBC that it could even cause a SWAT response. The Salem, Massachusetts Police Department summed it up best in a statement saying, "This prank dehumanizes the homeless, causes the distressed recipient to panic, and wastes police resources. Police officers who are called upon to respond do not know this is a prank and treat the call as an actual burglary in progress, thus creating a potentially dangerous situation."
I'm genuinely impressed that a police department PR person would acknowledge that this is
The first thing is it's
extremely
dehumanizing.
dehumanizing to homeless people. Hey, that's cool.
Look at this existence. It's criminal. That's the whole basis of it.
Yeah, it's just
When it is look, realistically, the parents have a right to be concerned about if this were real, about a strange person being in their home, even if the homeless person is completely harmless.
It is pretty crazy to say, oh, this could lead to a SWAT response, though. I'm like,
Yeah.
What? How?
Well, because the parents have limited information and are the ones calling the police.
Yeah,
And what they've seen is, quote unquote, a grimy person in their home with their children.
Right. I'm just saying, it's that's so over the top from the parents and
What's
the
what's
police.
cra-
You need to send a truck full of armored dudes in SWAT gear.
What's crazier to me is the fact that kids are doing this prank, recording their parents' reactions, and then uploading that. And for what? To ruin their parents' lives potentially, at work or in social circles or whatever. Because no matter what the reaction is, it's going to be bad. It's going to make them look bad.
Yeah.
But it is crazy to be to have so little self-awareness that
Well, they're children.
I know, but I'm
Their brains, their frontal lobe hasn't fully developed. The consequences are not something.
But
that's
imagine your dad's down there working at the bowling ball polishing factory. He's
making sick videos to put on Instagram. I love those guys that polish bowling balls. It's some of my favorite content. They make them so clean.
All right, well,
they
maybe
come in, they're scratched as fuck. It looks like shit, and they put them in their little machine. They got the different grades of polish, and I'm like, damn, that ball is so smooth.
I don't know if this is a great example.
Dad's making better TikToks than his ungrateful fucking son.
All right.
He's supposed to be down at the bowling ball factory, and instead he's panicking. He's calling the cops saying, "Send the SWAT team! Send the full SWAT team! Shoot to kill!"
It was a bad example because you love it.
Yeah, don't mention a job that also makes sick TikToks.
But on the same hand, now you could see how this shithead kid risking his father's job.
Yeah, the dad working down at the hydraulic press building.
Yeah.
Working down at the pressure washing Persian rugs factory.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden his boss is getting a bunch of calls and he walks in and he's like, "Hey, when you're done crushing things or making bowling balls or whatever, we need to have a talk because everyone's saying that you're being mean to homeless people online." So now, because of that example, do you understand the situation?
Sure.
I'm glad I picked the bowling ball shining
You
factory.
can't pick a dad with a cool job.
Every dad has a cool job. Well, not
a lot of dads' jobs suck. I'm sorry. I'll say it.
Yeah.
I don't care if that offends you.
All right. What if your dad's a claims adjuster, but he's got you guys. In
They don't make cool TikToks.
They got you in a decent. His hard work working 2 jobs. He works a secret night job.
Well, I don't know. As a claims adjuster, does he occasionally go to people's houses with a tiny little hand that he taps on code violations with?
Yeah. So anyways, that guy gets pranked, and he's like, "Oh my god, my daughter's might be murdered."
Yeah.
Get that guy out of the house, and then everyone online like calls fucking Geico, and they're like, "Hey, you got to fire this guy.
Yeah.
He was mean to the homeless." And now no more tappy tap tap videos for Elliot.
Yeah.
What are you gonna watch now?
I love that little hand.
It's so condescending of the work of like the shoddy.
Yeah, it's
craftsmanship.
dog shit crap. Yeah, they should be ashamed.
Yeah, it's literally like it's the inanimate hand. It's that, but it's the other guy that used to do the thing where he just would like point at things.
Yeah.
Anyways,
There's a lot of good short form content out there, guys.
if you know where to look.
Yeah.
If you got a good group chat going.
If you can get the app to get your algorithm to not suck, you can scroll for hours and not rot your brain, actually. You get smarter. Learn about different people's jobs.
Zero side effects.
Every time I'm scrolling, my IQ is rising, actually, because I'm learning about skills. I'm appreciating things I took for granted. Like
Just 3 days ago, I didn't know how the bowling balls got set.
how does bowling ball get shiny? Yeah. Now I fucking know. Not only do I know, I appreciate.
Woo! All right, well that's that. You got plenty of homework. You got plenty of stuff to watch
Yeah.
now that this episode is over. Make sure you like the episode. Make sure you leave a comment. Put your favorite job in the comments. What's your favorite job? If it's your favorite, why don't you do it?
Yeah.
Make it a passion
Film
project.
it. Put it on my timeline. I want to see reels.
Work for 20 years building your empire of like fucking dovetailed
Yeah.
woodworking videos, and then have your shitty fucking kid one day. You know, you're like in your 50s. It's over. All you have left to look forward to is maybe some cruises in the future.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden your kid, first of all, freaks you out because you think that they're in danger. And then the media starts
Yeah.
calling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're such a bad person for caring about the safety of your child. What an idiot. What a stupid dad. What a dork. This guy's scared for his child.
Loser, you're fired, loser.
Yeah. Anyway,
We can't have that kind of fucking loser talking here.
That's the show.
Yeah, the episode's
like the
up over
video. Post your favorite job.
Yeah. What's your favorite kind of like
Nothing
totally
sexual. I know you're gonna put blow job, hand job,
totally
foot job, rim
harmless,
job, none of that.
fun job that you watch videos of down below. And we will see you soon.
Bye bye.